Are you still looking for answers surrounding the new Tado Smart AC Control? Well, I'm hoping I can answer those questions in today's video. What up guys, welcome back to another episode. My name is Eddie Bear and today we will talk yet again about the new Tado Smart AC Control. So in my last episode I wasn't able to cover all the topics I wanted to talk about, so today's video will be kinda like a comparison between the old version 2 and the new version 3, and I will also talk about the features that did not make it into the last video. If you haven't already watched my first initial video about the new Tado Smart AC Control version 3 Plus, I will link it up here so you can see the whole installation and unboxing of their new controller. Let's start today's video by talking about the naming convention of the Tado products. So in their heating product line, there have been products that did not carry a plus in their name. Those products were their legacy products like the V2 and the V3. With their new product line, they introduced the plus into the naming convention. However, this is different to the Smart AC Control product line. So for example, with the V2 Plus, there never was a V2, so don't get confused when it comes to the whole naming thing of their products. So much for the naming, but are there any physical differences between the version 2 Plus and the version 3 Plus? At a first glance you will not be able to find much differences. The width, the depth and the height of the product pretty much stayed the same. The version 2 Plus looked like it had buttons in the front which actually turned out to be sensors, and they got rid of this part of the design in the version 3 Plus, so now it's a more cleaned up and slick design than before. Another thing that has been changed is the emitter on the bottom of the version 2. This emitter is now hidden within the housing of the version 3, so you cannot see it anymore, but it's still there and it's still functional. As you can see, the exterior did not receive too many changes compared to the version 2 Plus, so most of the changes happened under the hood of the V3 Plus. With the release of the V3 Plus, we now finally can integrate the Smart AC controller into HomeKit, so we can finally make use of Siri again.
Cooling down the house.
Through this you can now adjust the temperature of your AC and also the fan speed through voice commands. Another plus with the Smart AC controller is that you get access to a humidity sensor. This humidity sensor is also now available within HomeKit, and you can use this to create certain rules. Let's say for example the humidity reaches a certain percentage in your home, you can now automatically set your air conditioning to dry mode and get rid of the unwanted moisture. Another big change happened to the standard setting of the air conditioning operation mode. You always had the option to choose between the thermostatic mode and the non-thermostatic mode. Unfortunately, these options were buried so deep within the settings that most customers were not even aware of their existence, so this led to a huge frustration on the customer end. The biggest difference between these two settings is if you set your AC to non-thermostatic mode, this means you can adjust all the settings on your air conditioning as you like through the Tado Smart AC controller. But if you're setting it to thermostatic mode, your Smart AC controller will decide when it will turn on the air conditioning and when it will turn it off. Also, your air conditioning will only run on the highest possible settings, so basically it will always run on 16 degrees and on your highest available fan speed. The moment the temperature at the Smart AC controller reaches the target temperature, it will turn off the air conditioning, and then you can set a threshold in which between the air conditioning will stay off. Once the threshold is reached again, the Smart AC controller will turn the AC back on. Another cool feature that was introduced with the version 3 Plus is the Dazzle Mode. So any input you make now through the app is now also acknowledged through the display, so you will always have a visual feedback whether it received your command or not. And one side note, as I was filming this review, this feature was made also available for version 2 Plus, So this is kind of nice that they made this one available also for the older version of the Smart AC Control. Now let's also talk about something that most customers will not be too happy about. One of the biggest advantages of a Smart AC controller is the ability to control your air conditioning before you arrive at home, meaning you are using geofencing. This feature was free with the V2 Plus. This means if you want to automatically disable or enable your air conditioning before you come home or when you come home, you will have to buy into Tado's Auto Assist feature. If you don't want to pay for such a service, they at least made a light version available, meaning if you're leaving your home you will get a push notification and you'll be asked whether you want to turn off your AC at home. Another thing that is still worth mentioning is the manual control of the Smart AC Control. Even though I'm not a big fan of the manual control, it is still helpful if you don't have your phone around. The way how you manually interact with the controller has been simplified, so you don't get so many options anymore to choose from, so you basically set the temperature and set the fan speed and then you're good to go. Another thing that becomes obvious when you operate the version 2 right next to the version 3 is that there has been changes to the dot matrix on the display. To me personally, it looks like the version 3 is a bit more cleaner and not so bright as the version 2. In my opinion, it looks better, but it's up to you which one you like more. So what is my overall opinion about the new Tado Smart AC Control version 3 Plus? I think Tado made a step into the right direction, especially with their price point. The version 3 Plus is now available at half of the price of the version 2 Plus. So this means this will make this product accessible to people that before were not compelled to spend so much money on an automation of their air conditioning. Another thing you have to consider is the fact that it's obvious that Tado is listening to their customers. If you look at the differences between the old legacy V2 Plus and the new V3 Plus, you can see that they improved a lot of things, and most of the things I did hate. I absolutely hated the whole installation of the version 2 Plus, and it took me way too long, it was way too complicated. And if you were not tech savvy, the possibility that you ended up with a setup that was not satisfying for you as a customer was pretty high. Even though Tado made a lot of their customers unhappy with their new subscription service, they are still listening to their customers, and this is a unique thing because most of the companies these days tend not to listen to them. So kudos to Tado. Overall, I can say that I'm really satisfied with the feature set that the Tado Smart AC Control version 3 Plus is offering me. I'm now finally able to set my AC to run at a low setting throughout the night, and I also can activate it right in the morning even before I get up. Also, if I'm leaving from home, it will automatically turn off my air conditioning, and before I arrive at home, it will turn itself on. So this is a really nice comfort to have. And at this price point, I think it's pretty much unbeatable. So what is your opinion about the new Tado Smart AC controller? Is this something you have been waiting for? Are you satisfied with the changes they made to the whole setup procedure and the features? Let me know down in the comments below, and also hit me up if you have any additional questions surrounding the features or how to use them. So with that said, thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I see you in the next one. Peace!